This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
They say sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Well, what do I get when I watch the Astros play baseball? It hurts my eyes. It hurts my sanity because right now they stink. They cannot get anything done at the plate, and they have just been swept out of town by the San Francisco Giants, a team that might not be bad this season, but a team that nobody expects to be a playoff contender in the National League this season. And just like 2024, 2025 gets kicked off with an overall dud in the first homestand of the regular season. Hello and welcome today to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I am your host, Michael Connor. If you are new to this show, thank you for joining me here on this channel. The show was around last season. This season, we are here live on this channel. Brett and Eric are still here with the Locked On Astros podcast, which you hear 5 times a week right here on this channel as well. I'm sure they'll have some stuff for you guys later on today. This episode, of course, is going to be not fun from the standpoint of not having anything great to talk about. What you're going to be walking away from this one talking about is probably this.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Another day, another anemic performance from the offense. Now, I'm not going to sit here and forget about Framber Valdez as well. We're going to get to him. We're going to talk the whole Framber situation as well. But I asked the question, and you guys can fire it into the comments. If you've listened to me over the years on the radio or here, you know that I'm not a big overreaction type of person from the standpoint of you play 162 games in a regular season. It is so long. It is so dumb that it is so long. But with it being so long, it comes in waves. You're going to stink at some point during the year. Knock my microphone off. It's inevitable. And I get that. Doesn't mean I have to like it. But I sit here today as we've watched the team go 2-4 through the first 6 games of the season and honestly have nothing at the plate. Hey, look at today. Let's just pull up the numbers real quick. I love numbers. Who doesn't love numbers? They go 7 for 34 at the plate today. All right. 7 hits is better than what they've done recently. They do get 3 runs. They have one player that goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Should he have been given those 2 runs batted in? Probably not. I think that was an error. They shouldn't have changed it, but you have the official score, who is a homer in every ballpark. They're going to change it to that. They struck out 14 times in the baseball game today. Hey, guess how many extra base hits they had in this one? Yeah, you guessed it. Big fat 0. This team is a singles machine. How many times they walked today? They walked a total of 5 times. But you put some guys on base. That's fine. But I am like all of you. I'm frustrated with it. It irritates me. And I think when we go back and we look at things and we analyze why you're in the situation that you are in, this all goes back to poor management of a baseball team, of a franchise. The sky is not going to fall on the season today. I'm here to admit that to you. I am here to say that, yes, I'm going to get irritated. I did this last season. I got irritated early in the season. I wondered if you could be looking at a team ending its postseason run. I'm going to wonder that again today. I did wonder that, though, coming into the season. Are you ready to hit the panic button? That's the question today. I don't know if you necessarily are just yet, but you're hitting the agitated button. But I will say this again. I think when we give a fair analysis for how the organization has been run, since James Click was let go and not allowed to do his job basically when he was here the last year overall, this franchise lost its way. It lost its way a long time ago. I'm not going to rewrite old history. I think it just tells the story of kind of how things have gone and how they have put together a roster that, in my mind, when I look at it, it's not any better than last year's roster. There's nothing about it on paper that's any better than last year's roster. So to me, that makes your offseason that you just went through a failure. And you have not set yourself up for the best success in 2025. They got out ahead of a problem because they were going to lose Kyle Tucker. Man, does it suck to watch Kyle Tucker right now go out there and mash for the Cubs. He is playing games in a AAA ballpark that the ball flies the last few days. That helps. But they got out ahead of that because they were never going to keep him. Now, that could be part of your issue, that you don't ever keep people. But that always goes back to they never sign these guys before they get close to that point. They just let everybody get there and they walk. And then they try to fix issues and supplement here and there, and they've made poor decisions over the years to supplement and to fix and to do whatever. I kind of look at the way they've operated in free agency. Last year, they gave $95 million to a closer. Why? Didn't need to. Didn't need him. Had no need for him at all. Eating up a ton of your money. We all know the albatross that's on the roster that is Rafael Montero. We all know what Jose Abreu's money's still hanging around doing. So far, the $60 million on another third baseman in his mid-30s that they've given to has been a big fat nothing for Christian Walker. Meanwhile, you just let core pieces that have made you who you are and as good as you are walk out the door. Doesn't mean you need to sign all of them. But it's just the ramifications of years of poor decision-making when it comes to player retainment that is biting them in the backside as to why they come into seasons and they struggle, and why they get to the plate and they struggle, and why they pick up players that aren't necessarily better than what they had. And we're seeing the slow decline. We always knew it was going to come. You're never going to keep that peak golden era of baseball open forever. It's inevitable. But what they're getting out of this roster right now is hot garbage through the first 6 games. I mean, heck, even when they got hot garbage out of their pitcher today, he still found a way to rally and at least keep you in the game there, right? I guess I struggle with all of it because I look back and go, man, it'd be nice to keep all this around. You know, to keep this going the way that it has been going. And I'm not saying it's done. Again, it's 6 games of 162. But through 6 games, you've had one guy show up and do anything. Jose Altuve, the about to be 35-year-old Jose Altuve. He went and hit 391 on the homestand. He's the only guy that did anything consistently. Isaac Paredes, I know that he had 2 runs batted in, hit 150 on the homestand. Jordan hit 150. Christian Walker hit 125 and capped it off today by going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Yainer Diaz has done Jack Diddley squat, hitting 111. Jeremy Pena, 105. Brendan Rodgers, 167. Zach DeCenzo doesn't have a ton of at-bats, 143. Chas McCormick was one of the only bright spots when he did play, but today he was buns. He was 0 for 3. Did have the run batted in, struck out 3 times. He at least did 286 on the homestand. Those numbers won't stick forever. I'm aware of that. I think all of you are aware of that. Like, that's not what is going to continue to happen. But this team, for whatever reason, can't get into a season and start it out on a hot streak. And if you think all of a sudden things are going to change here in the next few days in Minneapolis, of all places, I think that you're barking up the wrong tree. I hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong. We will discuss that here in a few minutes as well when we look ahead to what is going on over the next few days for the Astros as they look to rebound and get out of this little bit of a hole. It's also important to note that you don't want to get yourself in too big of a hole early in this season. We all know this. You don't want to have to dig out of it. We watched them do it last year because you can dig and dig and dig, and there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to dig out of it every time that you do this to yourself. Astros sit at 2-4. At the moment, they're 3 games out in the West. The Rangers are currently playing. They are currently winning. So there is a chance that the Astros will be 4 games out in the West, or 3.5, right? Yeah, 3.5 out in the West. It's too early to be scoreboard watching all the time. But like I mentioned, we watched them dig themselves a hole last year. And if the Rangers do get better health, I'm not a big believer in them. I don't think that they deserve the hype that they've had. Maybe they stick around and make things difficult for you this year. I mean, just things to think about when you keep playing this poorly early in the season. And I do think that if this continues for a long period of time, into the season, I should say, you will see the potential for some changes in some areas as we move along. We got a lot more to get into. Let's talk about Framber Valdez, his early struggles. Another reason why the Astros aren't going to keep Framber Valdez long-term, unfortunately. And how do these bats heat up in Minnesota? It's a good guess. We'll talk about it next. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack it into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. I absolutely love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days, whether I'm snacking at my desk right here, out on the road, or just need a quick protein boost. They're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. One more message before we get back to our Astros discussion after they've been swept out by the Giants today. I want to tell you guys about your money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Look, it's a great place with all of it in one spot. Instead of just juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Collaborating with your partner is even better. Managing your money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Welcome back to the Locked On Astros Postcast this evening. I'm your host, Michael Connor. If you are new to our channel here, the Locked On Astros channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to this show, welcome. This is the Postcast. We are live as soon as the game ends. The regular podcast with Brett and Eric still here, doing great as always. They will be with you, I'm sure, here in a bit, talking about today's game as well. Don't forget later tonight. Now, this, like everything else I mentioned, this show has transitioned here to the Locked On Astros channel. We still have Locked On Rockets and Locked On Texans as well. But Locked On Rockets tonight will be over on the Locked On Houston YouTube page. And you can find the link for it if you're watching the Rockets game tonight, want to hear me afterwards. You see my X account down there, Connor Michael. You can just follow me there, and I'll send out the link after the game, and you can join me after the Rockets probably beat up on the Utah Jazz later tonight, which will be fantastic, and win number 50 of the season. The Astros, 2-4 now, swept by the San Francisco Giants. Stinks. Not fun at all. One of the calling cards for one of the things that you were happy about on the homestand was the starting pitching went out and did its thing, right? Overall. First time through the rotation, they looked good. They gave you a chance to win every single day. Today, not so much. Framber Valdez went out there, and he did not have command of the two-seam fastball at all. And look, we've all watched him. We all know it. It happens at times. You're not going to go out there every time and have the most unbelievable command. He's a guy that has pitches that don't go straight. Everything moves somewhere. And sometimes you just don't have control of it or don't have the ability to put it down in the zone. With that pitch, you need to put it down in the zone quite a bit. He will elevate it because he can run it up to 97, 98. We've seen that. But for the most part, that's a pitch that you need down in the zone, that you want to get hammered into the ground. That's why he's such a lethal ground ball pitcher. He did not have it today. And I think it's the same story that it always is for Framber Valdez. The frustrating part with him is that he gets so in his head when things go wrong. And you watched him out there do it again tonight or today, this afternoon. He lets his emotions get too much of him. And that story alone, right there, is every reason why the Astros haven't locked him up and aren't going to lock him up. He's going to walk away at the end of the regular season. The Astros will get a comp pick wherever his contract lands. Thank you for your service. We'll move on. They're going to miss him when he's gone. He is a workhorse. Maybe they're thinking, we've gotten the most work out of him that anybody's ever going to get, because it is inevitable for almost every pitcher alive that at some point you're going to bust something in your arm, most likely your UCL, the way that we throw the baseball today. Maybe he won't always be this horse, and the Astros just got everything out of him they could for the years. There's also always been maturity questions with Framber Valdez. There's some off-the-field stuff that nobody loves from the standpoint of going out and having too good of a time, being, in the bars and whatnot. That's a problem. There's a reason why they never really got into negotiations with him. There's a reason why they didn't even approach him this offseason. They're not interested. In part, too, like I mentioned, poor planning, poor use of your money. They don't have the ability to go spend a bunch unless they go into the luxury tax, and they're not going to do that. That's their prerogative. They'll be a better baseball team if they did keep him. But, man, it was an example today of when things go wrong for Framber, things go wrong. And as you saw it, credit to him on this, and maybe it's in part, Bill Miller, Andrew Diaz, whoever. I would assume Miller and Framber probably discussed this. He couldn't throw the two-seam. He just basically got by with the curveball the rest of the day. And, it is a good thing that you can still settle a little bit and get through 5. Because if he had to hand that thing off to the bullpen in like the third, you got a quick turnaround again tomorrow. You're flying out. At 6 o'clock now, they're probably not getting out of Houston until 8:30 at the earliest, maybe closer to 9. So they're landing in Minneapolis tonight between 11 and midnight. And then they're playing again tomorrow at 3:15 in the frigid cold. They needed Framber to get a little bit deeper into that game, and thank goodness he was able to do that tonight. Still didn't mean it was good. It was not good. And they can't have that consistently. We all know that out of him. And I don't think he will be. I think he's going to get back to being Framber. I'm not concerned about the performance necessarily, but it's when these days happen that are frustrating. And I get why they can be frustrating for everybody. All right, to Minnesota now they go. Playing a Twins team, got off to a sluggish start themselves this season. They are 1-4 at this very moment. I know that they're playing the White Sox as we speak. I believe they're winning 6-0. So they're going to come in 2-4. Two teams with the same record. By the way, Carlos Correa having a nice day for the Twins as I look at this right now. 2 for 3 on the day for the former Astros shortstop who is had a nice year last year when he played for that Twins team. But they've got a red-hot Harrison Bader right now. Byron Buxton can always be a problem. They're a team that's kind of like the Astros right now, not off to their best start. They're not going to be an easy out by any means. They've got pitching as well. We all know that. We've seen that through the years. And the Astros bats in frigid Minneapolis, I would love to sit here and tell you I'm optimistic that the Astros are going to hit their hot streak quickly, but I'm not. Because hitting in the cold sucks. If you've ever played baseball in your life and played it in the cold, and it doesn't matter what level you play it at, you know how awful it is. Now imagine it with a guy throwing 100 miles an hour and you're using a wood bat and you don't hit it directly on the sweet spot, how that feels. It's not good. I've never faced 100, but I've hit in the cold, and let me tell you, I didn't enjoy it. Tomorrow, the weather in Minneapolis, high of 45 degrees. And they're going to have the random Friday day off. They put that in there just in case there is a snow out in Minneapolis so they can play Friday instead of Thursday. They'll play Friday. The weekend looks good. It's supposed to be sunny for the most part with highs of 47 and 49. The good news is they're playing these games during the day, I suppose. 3:10 on Thursday, 1:10 on Saturday, 1:10 on Sunday before the Astros will jet off to Seattle to play the Mariners. But I don't have a lot of expectation that the Astros are going to go to Minnesota and suddenly be able to hit the baseball. I think it's unrealistic. And again, I hope that I am very, very wrong for that. Don't forget, later tonight, check out my X account. You can get the link to join me for the Locked On Rockets postcast following Rockets and Jazz later on tonight as the Rockets are wrapping up the regular season. I'll be back with you for this show probably about the same time tomorrow. 3:10 first pitch up there in Minneapolis for the Astros and the Twins in that one. Twins home opener, by the way, so you get the pomp and the circumstance again of that for the Astros as they hit the road. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. We will talk again on this show tomorrow after Astros and Twins, the Locked On Astros postcast.